Good morning. How's everybody? You've been very quiet, very, very quiet this morning. Thank you. All right, so as Liz mentioned, there's been some slight changes at CoreOS. I have a new email address, so good. And I didn't want to focus on this, but just wanted to point it out that CoreOS was acquired by Red Hat. And really, the CoreOS team continues to remain focused on the Kubernetes ecosystem, a lot of the open source projects that we introduced. And if you want to learn more about it, there's Red Hat Summit next week. And I'm going to spend my time at KubeCon talking about open source and Kubernetes. So 2 years ago, CoreOS introduced this concept of operators. And luckily, Aparna gave a live demo. I only have 5 minutes, so I can't do a live demo. But without coordination, we got a live demo out of it anyways. And so operators, this idea of kind of these kube native applications that are managed via the Kubernetes API and then also deployed on the API. And so they run in pods. They're managed with kube APIs. Here's the demo. I don't have to do this. I can save so much time. All right, so the analogy here is imagine a cloud provider has all these different services, has security services, identity services. It runs on servers. If you didn't know that about the cloud, that's servers. And what we're trying to do here with operators is imagine a cloud where you can install new applications on it. Most of the public cloud providers are not going to let you just your application, your WordPress server, make a new API to create new instances of your WordPress application or your enterprise application. That's simply not possible on the public cloud. But with Kubernetes, we can extend Kubernetes and add whatever application we'd like, whether it be Spark or etcd or Prometheus, or maybe applications that you find important inside of your organization. And so Owen introduced it 2 years ago. And where we are today is a lot of people have found a lot of value out of these things. This is from Mike Goodness at Ticketmaster, which they introduced Prometheus Operator into their clusters at Ticketmaster, allowing application engineers and SREs to manage their own monitoring systems for their application. Not infrastructure monitoring, but application monitoring. And it kind of took off fast. Hundreds of Prometheus instances in their clusters hooked up to various alerting, et cetera. So clearly, this pattern is useful. It's always good to see when you introduce a simple concept and then it explodes in use. That's how you know something's good. And so building on this, we wanted to ask ourselves, how do we create more operators easily? And then how do we bring operators to more users? So a couple days ago, we introduced the operator framework. It was an open source project. I'm happy to announce it here at KubeCon. And what we're trying to do is twofold, actually tackle those two problems. It's here at github.com/operator framework. You can check it out. There's a bunch of stuff in there. We're introducing a few more components over the next few weeks. But the things that we've open sourced so far, first is the operator SDK, which is tools to build, package, and test your operator. And there's a bunch of challenges building these operators. They're non-trivial pieces of software. Tracking-related kube resources, test scaffolding, how do I vendor the correct Kubernetes libraries, et cetera. And the operator SDK has a command line tool that generates the scaffold for you, and then a bunch of simplified APIs to interact with the Kubernetes system. And we have kind of shared this mission in parallel. We've been building these things. Philip Whitrock, Google engineer, has been building something called COO Builder. And he has this great analogy. What we're trying to do is do Kubi on Rails, if you're familiar with Ruby on Rails. And so we're trying to simplify the application development on top of Kubernetes to build more of these operators because people are getting so much value out of them. The other piece is lifecycle management. So in Aparna's demo, you saw that it was download some stuff from GitHub, like a YAML file, and then you deploy this YAML file, which is useful for demos, but not really useful in production. And so we want to answer these questions. How do we maintain a catalog? How do we make of operators? How do we make it easy to upgrade? How do we make it easy to insert these into different namespaces? And so we kind of take these manifests, this catalog, and install them into namespaces. And it's kind of handling this arrow that is inserting the application into your cloud. All right, it can handle built-in types, Helm charts, or things built with the Operator SDK. And that's the recap. We're open sourcing this thing. You can find it up on GitHub. We're trying to build more operators more easily for more users. And the why is we want Kubernetes to be the dominant API for these cloud apps. We're around KubeCon. Jimmy, Rob, myself, and Kelly, if you want to find us, we'll be at the Red Hat booth. Thanks a lot.